Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor Latricia Booker. And I'm popping in on you to tell you that they are seeing what God is made of through you. They are seeing what God is made of through you. And so, Kingdom people, I'm going to leave this message with Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. And it says, "The Lord has said to Abram, go from your country, your people, your father's household, to a land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you." So, Kingdom people, here's what's going on. They are seeing what God is made of through you. Those who are watching you, those who are trying to figure you out, those who have attacked you, who have come against you, who have tried to destroy you, who've tried to sabotage you, who have done their witchcraft and black magic and voodoo and shoo on you, Kingdom people, they are seeing what God is made of through you. God is using you to show them what he's made of, to show you who he is and what he do, how he do what he do, and ultimately what he's made of. And so, Kingdom people, listen, what's happening is people are mellowing out. These ones in particular, those enemies, are mellowing out. And it's because they have made so many attempts towards you to no avail. And there are many people trying to, I want to say they're trying to understand how you're able to do this. They've gone through that. They still may be going through that, but they're coming to the realization that God is with you. They're coming into the understanding that God don't play about his people. God don't play about you. They realize you do belong to God, because as I always say, or I say quite often, these people have been doing these things and operating in these ways for some time, and they've been quite successful, and they've been getting away with a lot. But with you, Kingdom people, it's just not working. So it makes them notice the difference with you. Now, some know that you are a person of God. Some may know that, may just know just from the way you carry yourself. They know you different. Either way, they come to understand that you really do walk with God, but God walks with you. Is the big thing here. God is with you. Yes, you walk with God. You're obedient to him. You follow his lead. You doing your best to please him, to live according to his will, according to his ways. And people can see that with you just by the way you handle yourself, by the way you carry yourself, because the way you operate is so different from the way the world operates. And so we know many people out here are of the world. And so they do see the difference with you. And so again, they come into the realization that God is actually with you. And all those things that they've done towards you, not only did they not work on you, and so many of these people are really going through it. They're actually experiencing what they were trying to make you experience. In other words, it backfired. Some things they were trying to put on you is what's on them. And God is continuously blessing you. God is continuously elevating you. You still going. You moving forward, looking better, getting better, doing better. And people are watching you. So this is evident to them. So in all of that, they are seeing what God is made of through you. Now, earlier today, God was just bringing back to my attention how I've heard this quite a bit for some time now, for a little while now. How some people don't understand how you're doing better without them. They can't believe it. They just don't understand. And it always behooves me, because I'm thinking in terms of, wow, what makes people think you can't do, the only way you're going to be able to do good is with them. And then the ones that God showed me, it's like they not really doing anything so significant. I'm not knocking what they do per se, but they not doing anything so significant where, I mean, they would make me better. And what I really mean by that is this. I mean, if anybody who has a will or desire, drive, do what and to do what's necessary, willing to do what's necessary, they can do well. Now, add God on top of that. Add God into the mix. I mean, to me, that's the sauce. That's the real answer. That's the real key. Walking it out with God, having God with you, having God backing you up. So it's just really through me when I would hear that. That they're surprised, they don't understand how you're doing. Okay, and you're making it without them, as if they're the end all be all. So when I heard this today, I had to respond. I'm just like, I always say, God, that's how. How am I able to do what I do? How am I able to still make it without people? I finally said, they not God. They are not God. And I had to ask God, are they God? Because the only one you're really not able to make it without is God. Well, let me speak for me. The only one I can't do it without God. Without anybody else, I can. Now that doesn't mean, kingdom people, that God don't put certain people in your life to help you along your way. And even those people that he brought to my attention that feel like they don't understand how I'm making it, they're surprised that I'm making it without them. God may have had them there for a season and for a reason. But when God started to take you up a little higher, these people can't help you with that because they ain't even went up the higher that God is taking you. So how can they help you with that, or how can you make it with them in your life when they ain't even doing that? What God is doing with you is beyond what they're doing. And again, no shade to nobody. That's not even what this message is about. It's more so how what I'm speaking of right now is how they shocked and don't understand how I'm making it without them. Again, like they're the end all be all, when God is actually the end all be all. I even encourage people, don't look to me to be your answer. Look to God. Look unto the hills from where your help come from, or where it should come from, because that's what I do. I don't encourage anybody to look to me for their help, for their answers. That don't mean we can't help people, but you get what I'm saying, kingdom people. So what had happened was, a little bit later on that day, God brought to me, well, I was listening to a young man actually, and he said something to the effect of, no, he said, you was talking about the enemies, and he said when they came for you, they already knew they wouldn't win. And so it brought something to mind. I really just was like intrigued by that statement. And what I was reminded of is how God would tell me the enemy already know when he send people after you that they're going to lose. He already know that. But especially once you've gotten so far, because he know you're only getting stronger, you're only getting better. They know, the enemy be knowing when you ain't her, or you ain't him. You can't be stopped. That it is what it is. He already knew who you was. That's why he came for you. But at some point, he realized that it's a waste of time coming for you. But he is still seeing people. He is still have these people, thinking they want to come for you. But what he's really doing when he does that is he's destroying them, or attempting to, let's say that, if they keep going. But ultimately what God is doing is showing them what he's made of, using you, them coming after you to show them what he's made of. And so, again, this young man was saying how these people know that they're not getting ready to win. They already know when they come for you. God reminded me, well, the enemy know they're not going to win. And then God brought this to my attention, how, earlier that morning, I was thinking about how it was just really on me, something I was listening to. First of all, yesterday, I was listening to something that sent me through the roof. Some had transpired, a few things had transpired yesterday. And I was listening to something that made that where I responded. And, I be having these moments from time to time, but I really went there yesterday and it had been a minute. And I was just responding like, they're dumb. They just dumb. And it was kind of revolving around when you a blessing to somebody. Maybe you did something for somebody and you was helpful, or you encouraged somebody, or whatever it may be. They may have made some progress, got some accolades. Then they get to acting a fool when you shower them with encouragement, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you bless them in some kind of way. Maybe you're a blessing to them. And sometimes people get that twisted, but it really be the enemy getting them twisted, twisting them up, and have them acting a fool. And so I was just really kind of having a moment of, it's dumb. And what happens with that is, just like you got that blessing, just like you made that progress, that can be stripped from you. And oftentimes, kingdom people, that's exactly what happens with people when they mishandle you. Going back to Genesis 1, Genesis 12, and where it say, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. So, see, people, you when they get to acting a fool with you, God can strip them. He will strip them. He do. When they be trying to come at you and sabotage you and destroy you and witchcraft you and all that, God deal with them. When they trying to curse you, because ultimately that's what they're trying to do, they end up being cursed. I'm riding yesterday, and it was a school bus. It was like a couple of cars in front of me, then me, on the right side, in the right lane. When you cross the red light, go across the red light, on the right side, you have to merge into the left lane. So you have to hurry up. Like if you're trying to hurry up and go in front of the person in the front, you got to hurry up. So this big old bus, school bus, come up to the right side and does that. And it was just weird. And then he got in front of all of us and was going real slow. They wasn't even going the speed limit. So I'm just like, really? And I'm knowing in my spirit, this is a person, I don't know who it was, man or woman, I don't know. But I just felt it in my spirit. They were doing it on purpose to slow everybody down. And what was on me is how using their school bus driver power to try to be aggravating somebody. I guess they got that little blessing of a job as a school bus driver. No shade to school bus drivers. It's a blessing. And I don't know how long this person had that job or how long they had been doing that, but I could feel in my spirit they were screwing it up right when they were doing that because of the way they were handling it. And they were trying to aggravate us and slow everybody down. Like, what do you get out of that? And I'm going to explain that in 1 minute. But the whole thing was, this was an abuse of their position, an abuse of them driving that big old school bus to just mishandle other people. And the thing is, yes, we should plan ahead for when mishaps happen so we can get to where we're going in a timely fashion if we need to get there at a certain time. But this was a person that was on purpose just trying to slow everybody down and aggravate them. And that happens often too, people doing those kind of things. But what was on my spirit, kingdom people, was God was like literally showing me, oh, they're going to get dealt with. God said, I'm going to slow their life down. Just like they got this job, just like they got this blessing and whatever other blessing they had. Because sometimes people get on their high horse and get to acting a fool when they get blessed. And God said, I'm going to strip them. I don't even know who it was driving this bus. Because by the time we got up so far, I turned off to the right and they actually turned off to the left. I didn't look. I'm not trying to see. But the point that I'm making here to people is, although I don't know this person, I don't know what will ultimately happen, or they don't know me, God was just letting me know they're going to get dealt with, and I'm going to strip them. Just because, and this is what God gave me too. They didn't realize who was in that line of, cars behind them talking about me. Like, I belong to God. And when people play with me, whether they know who I am or not, they get dealt with. God been showing me that a lot lately. People I don't even know. I don't know what be happening to them or whatever. I don't care to know, but he be speaking to me, letting me know, yeah, they're gonna get got. Because we living in a time and in a season where God is bringing that gamble down. He's saying enough is enough. And so going back to what I was saying, how, this young man was saying how they already know when they coming at you that they not going to win. God was, again, bringing to my attention, the devil does know that. And God showed me that a long time ago. And so going back a little bit further to that earlier that morning, back to how it was on my spirit, how people that do all this demonic stuff, witchcraft and the witches, people who perform witchcraft, people that work in the dark arts, the reason why they do those things is because it makes them feel powerful. And the reason why it makes them feel powerful is because they feel powerless. They don't feel good about themselves. They insecure. They have low self-esteem. The reason why the enemy is able to use them is because he has already caused them so much trauma and pain. He has stripped them of their God selves already. And, many a times they have experienced things where their consciousness and their psyche has been fragmented, and they just are weak. They're weak. They're weak in their soul. They're weak in they're spiritually weak, and so they are able to be used by the enemy. But again, the enemy is able to use them and make them think that if they do this and tap into this dark stuff, they'll have some form of power. And many a times, like I said before, they have had experience where, when they do certain things, it work. So it started making them feel powerful. Mind them, their psyche is fragmented. Their consciousness is disenfranchised, so to speak. And they really are powerless. They've already been traumatized to the core. And so this makes them feel like they have some kind of power. And going back to what I was saying, back to how I was calling people dumb, just seeing what they do is dumb, and how it messes them, ultimately mess them up, is because if people think, yes, we know the enemy done tricked them. We know the enemy done messed them up so bad that this is what they have taken on to make themselves feel powerful or to give themselves power. Destroying people is never powerful, and it's not of God. But of course, these people don't care nothing about being of God. They just trying to feel powerful. Now, how does all this come into play? I just heard they got a whole lot of problems, kingdom people, and you ain't one, but they make you their problem because of who you are. Which, going back to what I was getting ready to, how I was gonna wrap it up, is how they are seeing what God is made of through you. Because again, they've been moving like this. They've been operating like this, and they've been feeling pretty powerful because they've been getting away with things. They've been pulling the wool over people's ass, because a lot of people are not walking around thinking like this, thinking that people are doing these kind of things and operating like this. And until they start realizing it, until God start opening their eyes and making them aware of things, or they just start noticing things, and then God start revealing to them what this is, or they start to get educated on what's happening. So they're able to get away with a lot for a long time, which is why they like to keep you in the dark. Also, which is why they do a lot of what they do in the dark. And when people do things in the dark, they're doing it in the dark to be hidden. They do it in the dark because in their mind, no one will know. They do it in the dark knowing that what they're doing is not the thing to do, but it's how they feel powerful, because they are weak. They are weak souls. They are weak spirits. The enemy has already weakened them. The enemy has already hijacked their minds and their spirits. And so what's happening, kingdom people, after they done all what they done, they been doing what they been doing to people and somewhat getting away with it for the most part. And here they come on you, and even some that been doing it with you for some time, but now it ain't working because God done leveled you up. He done pulled you away from them. Listen, they are seeing what God is made of through you. Now, a lot of these people didn't know what God was made of. They didn't know because they had never seen nobody do it like you. They had never seen nobody use God like you, especially where they have been playing their tricks and their tactics and doing their witchcraft successfully. They never seen this. So it gets their attention, kingdom people. And what's happening is that they are seeing what God is made of through you. They knowing who God is to the extent that they do. They knowing what he made of through you. Because one thing that they know he made of is that he's sovereign. They knowing that he is God, and they little tricks and black magic and witchcraft ain't standing on nothing. They're learning that God is God. They're learning that God is God through you. They're learning when someone is protected by God, all their little witchcraft and black magic don't work. And they learning that through you. God is using you to show them what he made of. And so, kingdom people, I want to go back real fast too. The Lord has said to Abram, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land that I will show you. And so, kingdom people, oftentimes God removes us from people. Sometimes our family. I know God did that with me. When he moved me from my hometown, he literally was using Abraham on me. This is a scripture he kept giving me. And so, of course, I left because God was doing something new in me. And he had to get me away from them. But when I moved, I was still kind of dealing with them. But as of recently, over the last few years, God have pulled me away from them little by little, or one by one, some 2 by 2, 3 by 3. But the point is, when he got ready to really start moving me into what he's called me to do, he started causing me to really separate myself from them. And so what has happened is those ones who operate in witchcraft, that had seemingly or thought that what they were doing for years, keeping me down here, putting problems on me and issues on me, doing a little witchcraft. I mean, it may have seemingly been working. Okay, God allowed what he allowed and allowed me to go through what I went through, but it was all for training purposes. Also to see things, it was all had its purpose. I don't want to go too deep into that, but not in this video anyway, but I'm making a point to say when he pulled me away from them, and again, especially the ones that operate under that spirit of witchcraft, under the spirit of Jezebel, under the spirit of Leviathan, even Python. Listen, what happened was what they were attempting to do, or what they thought they were doing, or whatever, it was no longer working. I'm just hearing it really never was, but we just gonna go with it was no longer working. So in that, now, mind you, they already seen something to even be doing that. But see, the point here is this. They didn't really know what God was made of. Yeah, they seen something in you. They didn't understand what God was made of because they had been so busy operating in their witchcraft and all that and just getting away with it. And they never seen nobody move like you. They never seen God do nobody the way he did you. They never seen God protect nobody the way he protect you. They never seen God seen nobody step away from them like you did. And here's the thing. God reminded me today, right before I got ready to record this video, of how so many people, some of them, they had dreams, they had visions. God had even called them out, certain ones out of certain things, but they wanted to fit in. Because what happens is, kingdom people, you get a lot of backlash for stepping out. If you want to pursue a dream, you want to level up in any kind of way, you get a lot of backlash. And some people can't take that. Man, they got so low self-esteem and all this, that, and the other. And, they want to fit in. They want to be accepted by people. Never mind being accepted by God. They want to be accepted by people. So what happened is they just shrink. They go get in their box and they just go along to get along. You know, so they conform because they want to be accepted by people. They want to fit in. But you stepped out. When God said, come out. When he said, come, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land that I will show you. When God told you to do that, that's what you did. They couldn't do that. They didn't have the courage to do that. They didn't have the courage to fulfill their dreams. They didn't have the courage to keep pushing. They didn't have the courage to not care about who was saying what and just move in whatever. You know, I want to say the things of God, but even if they just wanted to pursue something that was great, if people came against it and people started mishandling them and mistreating them because they wanted something better, they were going after something greater, because that happens. They didn't like that. They just shrunk back down so they can fit in, so people could be okay with them. But kingdom people, you didn't do that. And in you doing that or not doing that, in you pursuing the things of God, because that's what it is for you, and you going into what God is calling you into, which is greater and grander than what it was, you know, than what you left behind, they came for you. They was coming for you. They was doing they scandalizing your name, gossiping, trying to curse you, trying to witchcraft you, black magic you, some continuously or stepping it up, because some was always doing it, particularly in your family, and maybe some others as well, you know, depending on your situation. But here's the thing, kingdom people. I'm just hearing you steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. So it didn't matter what they was doing, because God was protecting you. God is protecting. Listen, you his cause. You on his command. You fulfilling the assignment he gave you. You fulfilling the purpose he gave you. Surely he's going to back you. So in all of that, again, man, they've been doing this all along. This has been their power, because they have none. They've been stripped of who they are. They allowed the enemy to strip them of who they are. They took the bait. They took the bait of Satan. You know, they sold their soul, so to speak. So, you know, when you sell your soul, the devil give you an illusion of having some power, you know, having some kind of something. You know how the enemy do you. So in doing that, they thought they were powerful over you. But what has happened is they're realizing that they're not, because none of their stuff not working. And God just elevating you. He's still moving in you. They know it. They realize it. They kind of chilling out. I just heard flatlining. Even where you're concerned, those ones who we're speaking of right now. And so what's happening, kingdom people, they seeing what God is made of through you. And I just got to add this. These same people know you could care less about what they think or what they had thought. You could care less of they just know. And see, even you being that way is the God in you. I'm hearing greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world. What you care about what people think or thought. They can turn all kind of flips and bump their head all up against the wall and call you all kind of crazy, because that's what they do. They go through extremes and then call you crazy. You know, but who cares? You don't. You care about the things of God. You care about what you focused on. You care about what matters, not them and what they own. They know this about you, and they know that's the God in you. First, they be trying to figure out how you do that. They trying to understand how you able to do that. What is it? They be trying to figure it out. But what they coming to the realization of, kingdom people, is that it's God. And kingdom people, they are seeing what God is made of. Through you. Kingdom people, because of time, that is all I have to say about that. So if you like this video and or if this resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hold on, let me just say this first. God just reminded me that Abram, before he was Abraham, his dad's name was Terah. He called them away. He called Abram away from his family, Terah, because they were idol worshipers. God pointed this out to me right before I got ready to record this video. God called you away from idol worshipers. When he is calling you away, he calling you away from idol worshipers. In fact, he may have to strip some idols from your life. And what I mean by that, in a way of maybe money was your idol, status was your idol, certain things you just love so much. I'm just hearing coffee. It could be anything. So many things can end up becoming an idol if you're not careful. He had to strip you some things from you, but not in a way as far as what I'm speaking of, where these people were, Abram's family was literally worshiping idols, like them golden calves and the, what they call them, the poles, what they call them, the something pole that they used to create and make to worship. I always thought that was so weird. I just don't get it. But that just goes to show these people want to just worship something. My thinking when I would read through the scriptures and see this stuff, I just didn't get it. I'm like, you got God to worship. Just worship God. Why you got to make golden calves and chop wood? And what are you doing? God. Worship God. You ain't got to create nothing, come up with nothing when God is right there. Anyway, kingdom people, the point that I was making right there is to say that even in that, God had to pull you away from all these idol worshipers and do a work in you so he can do what he said, because you the seed of Abraham, so this applies to you. Make you into a great nation and bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And that's what God is doing to you, and that's what these people, they see what God, that's what's happening, and they realize there's nothing they can do to stop it. Thus, why they are seeing what God is made of through you. And so now, that is all I have to say about that. So if you like this video and if it resonate with you now, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that subscribe button if you have not already done so. Thank you. Make sure you go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell, kingdom people, so that you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. If there's any information you need to know about me, you can find all that right down below in the description box, along with other helpful resources. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for all your likes, subscribe, shares, all your comments and feedback, for all your financial contributions to my channel, and for all the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, thank you. Now, kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, we are untouchable, we are unmovable, we are unbreakable, and we are unstoppable. Kingdom people, keep going, and go and be great. Kingdom people, that is our time. This Jesus girl is out. Shalom and peace.